It was December 7th, 1864, and the general proceeded with 7 regiments, of which mine was included. There were around 300 of us, I believe. We marched on the Saline Pike. Crossed the Stone River at about noon. We ran into them, the main force of the Confederates. Their artillery opened fire on us before they were within firing range of our muskets. We stopped in the woods and formed a line. General Milroy rode up and stopped right in front of our regiment. He wasn't more than 3 rods from me. After a little bit, he spoke to his staff, and one of them rode up and said something I couldn't hear to Colonel Grass. Then came the commands. Attention, battalion! Shoulder arms, face to the rear, battalion about face, right shoulder, shift arms, forward, guide, center, march. The Confederates were too many for us, however. Before we even had a chance to begin our rearward movements, artillery opened upon us once again. Cannonballs crashed through the treetops and brought down tree limbs. However, the artillery miraculously hurt nobody, and we continued to march in perfect order. After a little bit, we employed a left wheel. At this point, our entire regiment was sent as skirmishers, and we began advancing once again. As we proceeded, we had to cross a cotton field, and the Confederates used this to begin firing on us with artillery. I noticed a man on a gray horse who appeared to be a Confederate officer and maybe a high-ranking one at that. I took careful aim and gave him 2 shots from Trim Thicket, my musket. Unfortunately, I must have missed both times because after a little bit he galloped away unharmed. After we passed through Cedar Woods, we came upon a Confederate cavalry vedette. He must have been sleeping at the saddle, otherwise we never would have been able to sneak up on him like we did. But he woke up. All along our line, we began firing on him. However, from the moment I saw him, I thought, "You are mine." Again, I missed him. I still can't explain how we all missed him. He was close range, and we all had deadly aim. I am thankful that he was able to survive, however, because if he could escape that, he was sure to survive the war and marry and have a family. Mere moments after this, I had my closest call in my entire service. I was the right-hand man of the entire skirmish line. A bullet from the right went through my clothes, not 2 inches from my skin. In total, it made 9 holes in my clothes, but never touched skin. This experience was the closest I came to death throughout the entire war. It wasn't until after all the fighting was over that I even realized how close to death. For just after this, we encountered the main line of the enemy in the edge of the woods on the opposite side of the field. The engagement only lasted a very short time, when the command was given to charge and our whole line went forward. The Confederates were blazing away along their whole line, yelling like devils. The whole line went forward with a furious yell and surged over the Confederate works like a big blue wave, and the day was ours. The Confederates retreated on a double quick, but in good order. We captured 2 pieces of artillery, a stand of colors, and about 200 prisoners. Afterwards, we proceeded to give chase to the Confederates that ran away, but we couldn't find any more. We then decided at about sunset it was time to head back to Fort Rosecrans.